Alright, Apple concluded its event today, and I can say it can be summarized like this. Disappointing but not surprising. Now, of course, very first, Apple announced the iPhone 15, and there are actually four models coming this year. You have the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus, the iPhone 15 Pro, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, the biggest disappointment on all of this is that the USB-C. Now, yes, Apple has ditched the Lightning port. However, for the base models of the 15 and 15 Plus, you're going to be restricted to USB 2.0 speeds. Why Apple is doing this is beyond me. The A16 chipset with those two cell phones is more than capable of handling a higher bitrate, as well as a data transfer rate compared to Lightning, but for some reason, Apple has decided to only leave that for the Pro models. Now, the Pro models, you're going to get 20 gigabytes of upload and download speeds on it. Now, some people may say, well, USB-C is rated for 40 gigabytes. Why is the iPhone Pro still only 20 gigabytes? But you have to consider that those 40 gigabytes theoretically is under best case scenario. Remember, you're dealing with a cell phone and a cell phone chipset. So there only is a certain maximum that any phone will ever reach with that. Now, of course, the biggest disappointment on top of the USB-C is the design. Now, if I were to put an iPhone 14 and an iPhone 50 side to side, which I will right now, I bet you wouldn't be able to tell me which one is which. And that's because the design is pretty much unchanged and hasn't been changed since the iPhone 11 with the diagonal camera lenses on the reverse. Same with the Pro, you have the three lenses, exact same design. But of course, Apple seems to run with what they have as long as it's working. That's part of their marketing tactics. Also, it is a way for them to cut back on production costs because a lot of everything is precast into those specific molds. Now, I will say what Apple is really good at is making incremental changes. So while the design externally might not have changed, internally things have drastically changed. And I'm going to start with the camera. We're now upgrading the main camera lens on all four iPhone models from a 12 megapixel to a 48 megapixel. Now, the camera on the iPhones has always been state of the art and probably one of the best cameras on a mobile device. And that's because when paired with its A17 and A16 chipset and even the previous A models, you get great image processing. Now, with a higher megapixel count, you can definitely rely on Apple to continue that trend and make sure the pictures turn out amazing. Now, the other changes made to the camera mainly happen on the Pro model, so you will get a periscope lens. On the 15 Pro, you're going to get 5 times optical zoom, and if you go with the Pro Max, you're going to get up to 10 times optical zoom. You unfortunately do not get a telephoto lens on the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 15 Plus. Now, everyone knows nowadays controversy is king and currency on the internet and in terms of marketing, and Apple had a few controversial takes. Number one, they're removing the mute switch on the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. Now, some people have loved the iPhones because of this feature, a dedicated switch to immediately silence your iPhone. Now, with the Pro models, you're going to be able to keep that feature or change it to anything you like. For example, going to the homepage or opening up a camera or using Siri, but this is only coming to the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. And lastly, this is such an Apple thing to do, and I can't believe they actually did it. They created a Lightning to USB-C dongle, and if you're in Canada, this little piece is going to cost you $40. $40 for a dongle this big using primitive technology. Thank you very much, Apple. Like I said, disappointed, but not surprised one bit. Now, of course, we can't go without talking about the price, and unfortunately this year the iPhone lineups are going to be some of the most expensive Apple has released. The Pro model is actually going to be $100 more expensive than last year's iPhone 14 Pros, so it is going to cost you a lot more money to be able to upgrade to this model. But I will say, in the grand scheme of things, if you're upgrading from an iPhone that's like 4 or 5 years old, then this is going to be obviously the best upgrade for you. However, it's still expensive and it's still not ideal. Now, by the time this video is released, the pre-order for the iPhone 15s will be out. I personally will be either getting the iPhone 15 Pro or the Pro Max. This is going to be a game time decision when I get onto Apple's website. I'm currently running an iPhone 12 Pro. It's around 3 years old, and to be quite honest with you, I've had zero issues with this phone whatsoever. No battery degradation and nothing slowing me down while using apps. But I'm curious to see if the upgrade to the iPhone 15 Pro or the 15 Pro Max, depending on what I get, is worth the upgrade money. And I will be doing a review on that, an unboxing as well, so stay tuned for that. Now, aside from the iPhone news, Apple did announce 2 watches, the Series 9 and the Ultra 2, both being incremental changes from last year's generation. The Apple Watch now comes equipped with the S9, and the brightness on the new watch is actually up to 2000 nits, so it's super bright. And I imagine with the upgraded processor, the battery life might have improved as well. That's up for testing, so I might actually be buying a watch, the Series 9, just to see how it fares. I'm still rocking my Series 4 from 2018 now, almost 5 years now, and I would say that this watch hasn't done me any harm yet. It's always good to go, and it's never slowed down so far. But just for the sake of review, I'll be posting it on my channel. And guys, if you are interested in Apple products, keeping up with the newest tech, or just general reviews, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I post weekly videos on a consistent basis. So until next time, I'll be doing an iPhone unboxing and a review, and I'll see you then. Peace.